The more you try to force yourself to be productive, the worse your procrastination usually becomes. Not better, worse. Which means something terrifying. What if procrastination was never laziness in the first place? What if your brain is actively stopping you before you can find out something painful about yourself? You know that feeling? You can scroll for 40 minutes effortlessly, watch videos, reorganize your desk, reply to random messages, but opening one important email feels physically painful. That's no time management, that's no discipline. Your brain is running a protection response, and once you see what it's protecting you from, you can't unsee it. Here's the first thing almost nobody realizes: procrastination is targeted. Every person avoids a specific category of task, and that category points directly at a specific fear. Creative work, your brain fears proof you are not talented. Finishing things, your brain fears judgment. Sending the email, your brain fears rejection. The task itself usually isn't the problem. What the task might reveal about you is: in the next 2 minutes, I'll show you how to identify your exact procrastination pattern and why most productivity advice actually makes the cycle worse. Every productivity system treats procrastination the same way. Break it into smaller tasks, set a timer, remove distractions, and these work sometimes for certain tasks, but there are specific things you procrastinate on that no productivity hack ever fixes. You know exactly which ones. Psychologist Tim Pychyl at Carleton University spent decades studying this. His conclusion destroyed the entire time management explanation. Procrastination is not about time, it's about emotion. Your brain predicts the emotional state a task might create, and if that emotional state feels threatening, it pulls you away before you consciously decide to avoid it. Now maybe you are thinking, okay, but I procrastinate on easy things too. Things that take 5 minutes, things you have already done before. That's exactly the point. The brain doesn't measure objective difficulty, it measures emotional risk. A 5-minute email that could expose you to judgment can feel heavier than hours of easy work. Here's what I promised earlier: how to identify your procrastination category. Ask yourself one question: what type of task do I avoid, no matter how small it is? If it's a creative work, your brain will be protecting you from proof that you are not talented. If it's a finishing things, your brain may be protecting you from judgment. If it's asking for help, your brain may be protecting you from feeling weak. The procrastination isn't random, it's a map, and it points directly at the thing you are most afraid to discover about yourself. And here's the part nobody talks about: the task usually isn't scary. What the task might reveal about you is. Now, here's where this gets dangerous. Most people identify the fear and still stay stuck. In 60 seconds, I'll show you why awareness alone doesn't break the cycle. Think about the thing you have been putting off the longest. Not because it's difficult, because succeeding or failing would force you to confront something real about yourself. So you stay in the almost, the planning, the researching, the I'll start Monday, and the longer you stay there, the heavier it becomes. The avoidance gets smarter, the excuses sound more logical, the shame gets louder. Psychologist Kristen Neff at University of Texas found something brutal. The more harshly people judge themselves for procrastinating, the more they procrastinate. Shame activates the exact same threat response that caused the avoidance in the first place. You procrastinate, you shame yourself, your brain detects more threat, you avoid more. The cycle feeds itself. Think about the task you have avoided the longest. What category does it fall into? Creative work, finishing, reaching out, something else? Drop it in the comments, because naming it's the first step to breaking it. Here's why naming the fear actually works. The protection response happens below conscious awareness. Your rational brain isn't fully involved yet. It's pure threat detection. But the moment you name the fear out loud, you force the rational part of the brain to engage, and threat brain and rational brain cannot dominate at full strength simultaneously. That's not motivation, that's neuroscience. You are interrupting the circuit. 3 things that actually break the cycle. 1. Identify your category. What type of task do you always avoid? 2. Say the fear out loud before you begin. Not this is hard. What would failure mean about you? Write it down. Diffuse the threat signal. 3. Shrink the emotional exposure. Note the task. Don't finish the project. Open the file. Write one sentence. Send one line. You are not trying to complete the task. You are teaching the brain the task is safe. Procrastination is not proof that you are lazy. It's a proof that something matters to you deeply. And your brain is terrified of what losing might mean. Work with that, not against it. The lie was never that you procrastinate. The lie was why. And once you understand that, you stop treating yourself like a lazy person and start understanding the protection system you have been fighting your entire life. If you want more videos that expose the hidden psychological systems controlling modern behavior, subscribe. That's what this channel is built for.